Hello there. This is Russell Emery, aka EM Fresh for Fresh to the Extreme, and right now we are on our last trail before we head on back home to Morgantown, West Virginia. This is the New River Gorge Trails
Payback,
near
buddy.
Arrowhead Mountain Bike Trails in Fayetteville, West Virginia.
All right. I won't
And
yell.
in this video, you'll
I'm
see
sorry for yelling.
Larry Fresh, Larry Paris Fresh, and then you'll see Roger Fresh. And so this is the last stop, as I said before, and we were riding to see the New River Gorge from a new vantage point. There's a welcome center or a New River Gorge center off the highway. I think it's 19 or 119. Don't quote me on that, but that normal visitors can see, but see the New River Gorge from. But we're taking the hard route. We're going to walk there or ride our bikes there, and then there's a point where we can't ride any further, and they have a sign out that says "Do not ride mountain bikes past this point," and so we have to hike to see to the Overlook, basically. Okay, so I'm not going to show the entire climbing sections, just the fast sections and some of the main points of interest if you were interested in riding New River Gorge trails. Again, if you didn't know before, if you're just coming into this video, there are 5 other videos, actually 7 other videos on this trip. The first video you'll see is the Wolf Creek Trails, based in this same city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then we go and we ride Tannery Knobs in Johnson City, Tennessee. And then the next day we ride the Dupont State Forest Trails, pretty much every single trail. I think we only missed 2 on the main parking lot side.
About another.
And then
200
the next
feet or
video
so,
after that
200
will
yards.
be the waterfall. I think it's called Hooker Falls. We ride down there, and then we take an alternate route back.
Be
route
right
that we
up
should
here.
have took the first place.
Take a right.
But if you watch that, you'll see what I mean. And then after that, we ride the Big Rock, or we ride up to the Big Rock Overlook. We did not take the Big Rock Trail, the main trail right out of the parking lot there. When you cross the street, we took the long way around, and we did the Burnt Mountain Loop, and then went right up the mountain, and it was absolutely painful and brutal, but it was very, very, very fun coming down. And actually, it was actually a pretty good trail. But good, don't take my word for it. Go and check that out. I forget what I called it, but you'll see that it'll be in a playlist. And at any moment in this video and any other videos, you'll be able to take the chapter markers or bookmarks and jump ahead if you don't feel like watching me pant in pain and
Oh my
from
God.
suffering of climbing up these hills here. And so the entire trip is about, for all the trails combined, we did about a little over 60 miles, and about almost 6,000 feet of elevation, actually.
Split off the side.
So pretty good ride. I had brought my e-bike because I thought I wasn't going to be able to make that elevation, especially on the Pinnacle Mountain Trails. I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah, so after the Dupont Trails, actually we just rode that one today. So we're on our way home. We stopped in Irwin, Tennessee. It's near Johnson City, and we rode the Pinnacle Mountain Fire Tower Trail. And that was very, very challenging. It was only 4.5 miles up, but it had almost 2,000 feet of elevation, so it's like 3,000, 20 feet per square or per mile. And that's the hardest I've ever ridden, straight up. But it was fun coming down. I had no sugar, and I got hangry at one of my mates here, Roger. But I think we were all hangry, so. But we got some food afterwards in Johnson City. It was pretty early morning we rode it, so we stopped at a restaurant called Label, and it had some good food there. And now I'm not hangry anymore, and then we took about a 4-hour drive, 3-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive to where we are now, the River Gorge Trails. After this, we stop at a restaurant. I can't remember what it is, but I'll make another video of the places that we ate at. Because people are asking me, where do you eat at? Well, I always forget to put that in there, but I'll make a separate video with some photos and whatnot highlighting the trip. But anyways, it's pretty dark. The GoPro is lighting up the scene. It's dark right now. And so Larry thinks it's going to rain, and he is correct. So it actually starts raining at the perfect time. Or not really the perfect time, but it starts raining after we get our photos, like directly afterwards. It was just like it was meant to be that we go out and ride to the new River Gorge and to the Overlook there. But, yep. And so the leaves are pretty much covering the trail. That's how it was in the Wolf Creek. It's right next to this, and we sort of, you'll see here, we sort of get disoriented because then the trails are covered up, so we don't know, almost lose our way. What more can we say? I'd like thank Larry and Roger for allowing me to come along, even though I didn't think I would be able to ride these trails with them. They're absolute monsters on the bike. And like I said before, most people believe when we show up, because we were riding with some pretty good riders. Like these guys, some of the guys are racers and stuff, and they'll start riding with Larry and myself and Roger, and then we'll end up leading the group at the end, you know. But see, these guys are pretty hard to ride. People don't really recognize that. I'm not just joking around, you know. I'm not talking a pro ride. Yeah, you're a pro, you know. But if you're like semi-pro or you're semi-amateur on verge being pro,
you're with them downhill.
I'm gonna do a little bragging on these guys here. These guys are like some of the best of the best. I'm in my early days. I was an athlete, you know. I know I can recognize strength and talent, you know, and competition, you know. And there's no competition with these guys, so actually I feel quite like they're pushing me to another level. I started really riding off-road last year around this time with Roger, and then Larry come in there. I thought that's just, you know, that was the distance we do. Me and Roger do. We're more muscular, like we're big dudes. We're big, you know, like football player type statures, you know, and so we ride 17, our max 17 miles sometimes, you know, Baker's Ridge and Morgantown, you know, and ride from Roger's house or whatever. That's like the farthest we ran. But when you ride with Larry, it's like just super long distance and climbing. And so we're not quite used to this, you know, when he does this. But he's also, keep bragging about this, he's a gravel bike racer. He can ride over 150 miles. I think he did a 200 miler one time. It's just insane how, and he goes this fast. You see him going this fast? That's how fast he rides. It's not like he's slowing down. I think the minimum speed he probably goes is like, 14 miles per hour. That's pretty fast, especially on these hills and stuff. Going the hills, he's going a little slower, but you can see him just spinning away. His arms are relaxed, you know. And so, my heart rate's busting out of my chest. Though I did learn some things from him. I learned how a little bit more techniques of riding, and my legs are a lot stronger and have more conditioning than I thought they did. And he told me to eat more magnesium so my muscles don't cramp up. And so I'm going to do that. And I actually had some in my pack, and my wife had put some in there, and I never really took them, but I took some this trip, and it actually helped me out. I'm able to pedal in the harder gears in the middle. That seems to be my sweet spot, as if I were hiking. When you're walking, you don't have any gears, so you want to be able to walk that pace, but you're going a little faster when you're riding mountain bike. But I like riding downhill, so that's basically what I do. I had brought the e-bike too. I had my S-Works Levo in the van, and thought, that I would, you know, wuss out and not be able to finish with these guys. But got Roger behind me, like he's there. He's just, I can hear him, like even when we're riding at our local trails, like he's pushing me. It's like Coach Rogers, like you can't fall out, you can't give up, you know. So I'm like pushing myself. It's actually quite painful sometimes, but when we ride with groups, it's like very easy to ride because he pushed me so hard to ride. So they're trying to get us to go gravel riding with him. I ride at home, you know, I have a fat bike. It's pretty light. It's a Trek Farley, and it's a carbon version, so it's pretty light for a fat bike. I think most fat bikes are like 38 pounds or something like that, 36, 38 pounds. But mine is only 26 pounds with the carbon frame and all the wheels, everything. And so I can pretty much ride. The farthest I've ever ridden is 43 miles on the rail trail. So I'm trying to get myself to do that, but I don't know how he just goes that far. I guess you have to listen to some audiobooks or something while riding. And that's actually what I did the last few times when I rode from our Morgantown to Fairmont, West Virginia, through the rail trail, or the gravel trail system that goes through pretty much every state, actually. And I just listened to that. It actually made the time go by faster. Trying to get under 3 hours, riding that. And so my average is about 13.9 miles per hour on the gravel, but there's no elevation in it. So when they were telling me, hey, bros, you got to put some elevation to that. I'm like, 100, he said 100 foot per mile at least to get better, to get stronger. And so I'm just trying to finish, trying to get that stamina, that cardio up first. And then thinking about getting a gravel bike, but I don't know. I have to,
Roger bitten.
I guess more mental, more preparation, a little more dedication, more time, because it takes a long time to ride. Sometimes I'm used to riding an hour and a half, per day, pretty much. And I'll do a long one with these guys, like on Saturday or Sunday, when they're free. Anyway, we're almost to the park a bike place. We're almost there, and then we have to dismount and walk our bikes. Walk up to the gorge there. And my ankle is killing me. Not from the trip or anything. I keep stubbing it on rocks. Where I live, we have at Cooper's Rock. There's a really fast trail down to the lake.
Yeah.
And I keep hitting it twice on the rocks. Like these rocks hit my ankle. It's like throbbing. So when I'm walking, it feels like I don't have any support. I think I went to the hospital. They said it's not broken or sprained or anything, but it's just killing me. It must be like a deep tissue, like knot or something. It just won't go away. It's been like that for the last 2-3 years. I mean, 2 years, but 2-3 weeks, like that. And it almost went away, but then I banged again against the another rock out here. See me walking through here. I am not happy about this. It's not that far, but it's far enough to be in pain. I wish I had some aspirin or something, or some ibuprofen. But I just can't keep with those guys, so I just take my time and so I don't sprain something, because it's pretty rocky and rooty up here. You can see we're almost there, and we're walking to the edge. On both sides is a drop off. And up here you can see the bridge up there, the New River Gorge Bridge.
Ooh.
We're going to take some pictures. They're taking pictures. Roger's taking pictures, and some other hikers. You can see it up ahead. Sorry about it being so dark.
Yeah, I'm joking.
There it is over
I
there.
was just saying we could stop there.
To the right down there, there's a welcome center.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
if
just
you're
playing.
on the
I was a
road with the
joke.
other cars going back and forth. All right, so here's some pictures. There's me doing a pose there. Thank you, Larry. And then there's all three of us.
Ooh.
And then for some reason they
ran
decide to
a long
run
time
back like they're Ironman or something. I was like, Roger just takes off running. Like, I don't know where he got his energy from all of a sudden. I don't have any energy right now. Foot hurt, arms hurt,
River Gorge.
back hurt, neck hurt. I just want, if I had my sauna in my
I feel
house,
good.
I would just be sitting in there soaking it all in. But anyway, we're not done. We got to get back. So it's about 2 miles back. And there's a little climbing because you saw us speed in here. So, you know, if you see us speeding down, we got to climb back out of it. And so, not too bad, but my legs were really tired. I think everybody's tired, except for Larry. You can do another 100 miles today. Anyways, the trip went well. No mechanical failures. I think had a good time, very good time, very good trip. Words of advice is to make sure during these post-COVID time, make sure you have a reservation when you schedule these things. You just can't walk into pretty much every place we went to, and especially in the smaller towns where there's limited staff, and it was crowded the other night. We were very hangry at one another. When I say hangry, that's hungry and angry mixed together. So I'm not saying angry, I'm saying hangry. Because you're hungry and angry. I think we all got there sometime. So a few downhill sections. And that's primarily it. And if I hadn't before, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. Go to my website, freshtoextreme.com. Hopefully I can get Larry to ride some start taking gravel videos for his race, and I just put him out there again because he's watching this probably. And you can I'll put a link to his Instagram. He'll have all the pictures there. He was the only one that had any energy left to take energy to take real pictures. At the end. So, but anyway, we're almost back. This is the Long Point Trail. And so pretty much only 2 trails, I think. 2 or 3 trails to get there. There's actually a lot more trails here. We just rode the new River Gorge trails, like this section. There's Arrowhead right next to us, and there's like a connector. And then there's a connector from Arrowhead to Wolf Creek. There. So they got a lot of trails here. Very nice place to ride. E-bike friendly too, even though I didn't get a chance to ride. Anyways, we're almost back to the parking lot.
Interesting. So I'm gonna put some time into this.
It's right up ahead.
Put this walkway in here.
Just a second. Whew. But we're done. Alrighty then. Almost have a tear in my eye because it's finished. I was looking at some photos. But
okay, all right.
We're gonna definitely do more trips and more videos.
Yeah, cool.
For you.
I think I'm at my end.
Just stay tuned. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Watch the other videos in this series. And have a good day, night, or wherever you're from, or wherever you're watching from.